Hello, my name is Matthias Lehmann. I'm a product manager for ventilations at WEINMANN Emergency here in Hamburg, and I'd like to give you a brief introduction to our turbine ventilator MEDUVENT. I would like to show you the outside of MEDUVENT. On the front there's a display, which is not a touch display. You have a control knob, which can be pressed and turned, alarm mute button, menu button, and the on-off button. On the right side there's the connection for the ventilation hose, MEDU trigger, and the pressure measurement block. The pressure measurement block is permanently connected when using a single-use system. This is different to the reusable system. You have the inlet for oxygen. On the right side there's the filter. On the back there's the connection for electricity. It is magnetic and can be connected to mains or to a 12-volt charger, for example for vehicles. This is the heat exhaust, and the battery of the device is inside and lasts for about 8 hours. On the right side there's nothing, and on the bottom you can find an SD card, which can be used for device updates. To connect the patient hose system, I will show this for the single-use system. You first connect the ventilation hose for the patient. Next, MEDU trigger. And after this, you've got for the single-use system 2 different hoses. One is the hose for oxygen and the other is the pressure measurement tube. Pressure measurement tube is the smaller one and gets connected on bottom, and above is the O2. To connect oxygen, an additional oxygen supply, you can use any inhalation source, for example from a pressure reducer, and you simply use an inhalation hose like this one, connected to the O2 inlet and then connected to the pressure reducer. Always remember to keep this valve closed if you don't use an oxygen source. I would like to show you the patient valve. The patient valve is on the front. This is the connection to the patient. Please always remember to use a filter, even if you use single hose systems. This is a protection for you and the patient as well. You have the MEDU trigger, you have the pressure measurement tube, and the O2 inlet. The PEEP is controlled by the ventilation hose. First, I'd like to show you how to do the function check on the MEDUVENT. Start the device with the on-off button. Wait till it's turned on. Then you're going to choose function check from the menu. And now follow the instructions. First, connect the blue test bag to the patient hose system. Then press start and the automatic function check starts. If you'd like to check your oxygen supply, you are pressing yes, and then you have to turn on your pressure regulator to 5 to 15 liters per minute. You connect the oxygen line on the O2 inlet, turn on your pressure reducer, and click start. When the device is finished, you can turn off the inhalation flow again. And now go to the next step of the function check, the alarm system, and the buttons. Every button must be pressed once. Also the middle trigger on the patient hold system. Now there's the wear level of the filter, which is good. You're going to click next, and then you can see the device is ready for use. If you want to start a ventilation with MEDUVENT, you simply press the on-off button, wait till the device is turned on. You have two options to start a ventilation, either with an emergency mode or by entering the heave via a new patient. We are going to start with the emergency mode first. Just simply hit the knob and the ventilation starts. If you like to start the ventilation via a new patient, turn the knob to new patient, hit the knob, and then you can enter gender, height, mode, and then hit next. So we are going to have a female patient with a height of 170 centimeters, and then we are going to have an IPPV mode. We are going to click next, and now all the parameters are calculated. We are going to click start, and the ventilation starts. The following things are on the display. On the left side is the bar graph with the actual pressure which is applied and the maximum pressure via the ventilation, our maximum pressure for the patient, the measured FiO2 and the minute volume, and here we have all the settings we can change. We can change the maximum pressure, the frequency, PEEP, and tidal volume. To change the tidal volume, you simply turn the knob, click the knob, go to 400, and click the knob again. Now our patient gets a tidal volume of 400 milliliters. If you'd like to change the FiO2, we can do this with an inhalation hose and with adding oxygen via an inhalation hose. This is the O2 inlet, and we connect a simple inhalation hose on this inlet. If we want to have 100% FiO2, we have a tidal volume of 400 milliliters, so we are applying 4 liters per minute oxygen. If you want to change the FiO2, you can do this with an inhalation hose on the O2 inlet. So I connect the inhalation hose to the O2 inlet, and for a tidal volume of 400 milliliters, I'm going to add at least 4 liters per minute oxygen. With this, I have an FiO2 of 100%. If I want to regulate the FiO2, I just have to regulate the inhalation. So I'm going to change it to 3 liters per minute, and now I have an FiO2 of 77%. If you want to mute the alarms, you can do this with the alarm mute button. I will provoke an alarm if I push my test line. Push the alarm mute button, and now the alarms are muted for 120 seconds. If I want to change the inhalation mode, the ventilation mode, I'm going to hit the menu button, and now can change to a different ventilation mode. For example, manual ventilation. I see the parameters again and can press start. I was a little bit too slow. I'm going to go to manual ventilation, see the parameters, and press start to start the ventilation. Now my ventilation is triggered with the middle trigger. Every time I press the middle trigger, the ventilation is coming. The oxygen which is needed for 100% FiO2 is 5 liters per minute. This is what the device shows me. So I'm going to change this to 100 to 5 liter per minute. And now, with the next ventilation, the device calculates that I have a FiO2 of 100%. That's the MEDUVENT. To turn it off, simply press the on-off button. For hygienic reprocessing, you only need to throw away the filter, and you can also throw away the whole system, except the MEDU trigger and the connection block, which is permanently connected to the MEDUVENT. Thank you for your attention. You can find further information in our instructions for use in the step-by-step guide for MEDUVENT, and also you can download our PC simulation from our website WEINMANN-Emergency.com.